Hello, happy Monday. Welcome to my channel. I am Jill Baird and I'm happy to have you here. So it is week number, who knows anymore, of quarantine, but you did it. You showed up on your mat, so give yourself a little kudos for taking this time for yourself. Today's 60-minute Vinyasa Power Flow Yoga class is designed to help us stretch our hips, stretch our IT band. We're going to get some shoulder stretching, and then as always we'll do some strengthening in our moving meditation as well, so linking breath to movement as always. For today's class, if you have a couple of blocks, you can grab them, or a couple pillows, but again, props are not necessary. I just think that they're great sometimes for helping us get a little deeper into our posture, or helping us find a little bit different alignment than we might be normally used to, but again, totally not necessary. We are going to start class today on our backs, so go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Go ahead and come down onto the backs of your elbows and then lower down onto your back. Before we get too comfy here, a lot of times we try to force our outer knees down closer to the mat or to the ground in this position, Supta Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose as it's also called. And for today, as we start, I'd like for you to think about either bringing blocks underneath your outer thighs to just really find a deep restorative posture here as we start class, or to think about dropping your hips, dropping your pelvis, your groin down, slightly or gently letting your knees come up towards the ceiling, and then as you find that position with your low back on the mat, then just kind of let your knees relax so you're not forcing them open. And notice that as you do that, as you drop your hips, as you drop your pelvis, your knees naturally begin to fall open a little wider towards the edges of your mat. So a few options with our arms. Either arms long by your side, palms facing up, or left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. Or if your shoulders are feeling particularly tight, you can even come into cactus arms. So once you've decided arm position, you're feeling comfy in your hips, close your eyes, take a deep inhale through the nose, fill up completely, your belly lifts towards the ceiling, and an open mouth exhale, empty out completely. Let's take 2 more rounds of cleansing breath. Deeper, fuller inhale, creating even more space in the body. And a louder, longer, open mouth exhale as you clear space in your mind by letting go of anything that does not serve you. Let's take 1 more, deepest, fullest inhale yet. Bringing in that breath until you feel like you cannot take in another sip of air. And then maybe just take in 1 tiny sip more. And the loudest, longest open mouth exhale yet today as you empty completely. And then when you feel empty, see if there's 1 last sip of breath that you can let go of. And then seal your lips closed. And continue taking these deep, filling, expansive inhales through your nose and cleansing exhales, emptying out completely through your nose. If Ujjayi breath is in your practice, find that slight constriction in the back of your throat, creating that slightly audible exhale, sort of like an ocean tide, ocean waves. next inhale, blink your eyes open. Bring your fingertips to the outsides of your knees, and as you exhale, draw your knees in together and into your chest, and just find a gentle rock side to side. Go ahead and cross your right knee over your left. Bring your palms to your shins and very gently hug your knees in towards your chest here. Keep your low back, the backs of your shoulders, the backs of your neck on the mat. You might feel a little sensation in the front of your right hip. It's just your hip flexor relaxing. And on your next exhale, go ahead and bring your left foot down to the mat. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, coming into a figure four. Again, back of the head, shoulders on the mat. And depending on how your hips are feeling today, maybe you stay here, or if you'd like to take it a little deeper, just begin to peel the left foot off the mat. Keep the left shin parallel to the mat as you draw the left knee in towards your chest. Think about opening the outer right knee, and then you can thread the needle, bringing your right hand through this triangle figure four you've created with your right leg. And then left hand can come behind the left thigh. That feels good. And again, inhaling, lengthening along the back of your body, along the back of your spine. And as you exhale, think about guiding that right knee open just a little bit more, even if it's just a little isometric press. Inhale, maybe guide the left knee in a little bit closer. And exhale, open up the right knee just a little bit more. On your next exhale, release the bind with your hands, sole of the left foot to the mat. Keep your right leg exactly as it is. Cactus your arms. Take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, let your left knee fall over to the left. The sole of the right foot also comes to the left side of the mat, falls on the floor. And then your gaze can be either up at the ceiling or out towards your right hand. And close your eyes if that feels good. Think about lengthening the right side body from the hip point to the shoulder. And on an inhale, gently roll back onto your back. And exhale, hug both knees into your chest. This time find a little compression as you draw the knees in just a little bit tighter. And with an exhale breath, cross your left knee on top of your right. Bring your palms to your shins and just very gently guide both knees in towards your chest. So stretching the front of the left hip here, the outer left hip just a little bit. Where can you soften? Where can you let go? And then with your next exhale breath, allow the sole of your right foot to come down to the mat. Come into a figure four with your left knee, hip, and shin. And again, back of the head, back of the shoulders, tailbone flat on the mat. First, with your mind's eye, find that spot on the outside of your left knee that you can guide open just a little bit more. Take an inhale breath, and if you'd like to take it deeper with your next exhale, use your abdominal muscles as you peel that right foot away from the mat. Draw the right knee in just a little bit closer towards your chest. And then if you'd like to thread the needle, you can take your left hand into that figure four you've created with your left leg, that triangle, and you can bring your hands either behind your right leg, or if you have the space and you're able to keep the back of your head and the back of your shoulders on the mat, you can bring both palms to the front of the right knee. Maybe even use that left elbow to guide the left knee out just a bit more. continue your ujjayi breath here. And the closer you draw that right knee in towards your chest, the deeper the stretch you're going to feel in the outside of the left hip. And your next exhale, gently unbind wherever your hands are. Release the sole of your right foot down to the mat. Cactus your arms. And with an exhale breath, allow your outer right hip, the sole of the left foot, to find the earth on the right side of your mat. Your gaze can be up at the ceiling, or you can gaze out towards your left arm, left hand, if that feels okay in your body. Remember to always listen to what feels good in your body. And with your next inhale, roll back onto your back. Exhale, unbind the leg, hug both knees into the chest. And just begin to rock and roll the length of your spine about 3 times. And after the 3rd time, we'll come up into a tabletop position. So stacking your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. We're going to come into a calf stretch on the right. So with an inhale breath, extend your right leg straight back behind you. Tuck your right toes and press your right heel back towards the mat behind you. Now you can stay here, or if you'd like to find some movement, with your next inhale, shift forward onto those right tippy toes. And then as you exhale, press back a little bit further into the toes, drawing the right heel closer towards the mat. Now, if this feels good, you can stay here for the next breath cycle, or if you'd like to find some more movement, inhale, shift forward, up onto the tippy toes, pull the belly button back and in, and exhale, right heel a little bit closer towards the earth. On your next inhale, make sure your shoulders are stacked directly over your wrists. Lift the right leg. And with your exhale breath, drop the right toes over to the left side of your mat. Keep your shoulders and your hip points facing forward. You can begin to gaze back for the inner right heel here. And if you'd like an even deeper stretch, think about drawing your left shoulder back towards your left hip. You should feel a really nice opening in the right side body here and in the outer right hip. And on your next inhale, lift the right leg. And as we exhale, we're going to drop the sole of the right foot over to the right. So the right leg is extended out straight, the toes face forward. Bring your shoulders back over your wrists, or your wrists back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, cow pose variation. So melt your belly, lift your chest, lift your gaze. And exhale, cat. Tuck, round, and curl. Press the palms into the mat. Draw your chin in towards your chest, tailbone down towards the mat. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, cow pose. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Press your chest forward. Lift your gaze. And exhale, cat pose. Tuck, round, and curl. Press the earth away. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, sit your left hip back onto your left heel. Feel that deep stretch in the inner right thigh, and then walk your fingertips forward. So into a child's pose variation here. Stay really active in the right leg by pressing the sole of the right foot into the mat and continuing to squeeze the right quadricep, lifting the right kneecap. On your next inhale, lift, bring your shoulders back over your wrists. And exhale, tabletop pose. Inhale, extend your left leg straight back. And as you exhale, drop the left toes to the mat, tuck them under, and press back through your left heel. So stretching into the calf here. So again, option to stay here, or if you'd like to find some movement, inhale, shift forward onto the left tippy toes, and exhale, sit it back just a bit more as that left heel comes closer to the earth. And again, option to stay, or inhale, shift forward, and exhale, sit it back just a little bit more. Inhale, shoulders over wrists, lift the left toes away from the mat, and exhale, left toes find the right side of the mat or the earth. Square your shoulders and your hip points to the front of the mat, gaze back towards that inner left heel, and then again, if it feels good, you can drop the back of that right shoulder towards your outer right hip, which just creates a little bit deeper opening in the side body. Continue hugging the muscles in that left leg to the bone so it's really nice and active. Inhale, lift the left toes, and exhale, we're going to bring the left foot to the mat, or the earth on the left side of your mat. Press into the entire sole of the left foot, hug the muscles in the left leg to the bone. Inhale, cow pose, melt your belly. And exhale, cat, tuck, round and curl as you press the earth away from you. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Pull that belly button back towards your spine. Imagine that your belly button coming back towards your spine is creating space between the vertebrae. Inhale, back to neutral, shoulders over wrists, and exhale, sit your right hip back onto your right heel, and then go ahead and lengthen your fingertips forward as you press into the sole of that left foot, feeling a nice deep opening in that inner left thigh here. Continue to breathe. On your next inhale, come up, shoulders over wrists. Bring that left knee under your hip. Tuck your toes. Hover your knees away from the mat about an inch. Pull your belly button back towards your spine. Inhale. Exhale, drop your hips back towards your heels and lift your hips downward facing dog. So if you feel like you need a little bit more space there, either step your feet back or walk your hands forward. You can inhale, shift high plank, top of a push-up. Organize, hips over, or shoulders over wrists rather, and then lift your hips up and back. Press your palms into the mat, fingertips into the mat, like you're pressing that mat forward and away from you. Firing up the muscles in your arms, lengthening the side body, and then drawing your chest, your belly back towards your thighs. Begin to find some stillness in your downward facing dog. Heels coming closer towards the earth. Biceps in line with the ears. Triceps spiraling back toward your toes. And then gaze back between your legs. Bring your left foot more towards the center of your mat. With an inhale, extend your right leg straight back up out of your right hip. And as you exhale, step your right foot up by your right thumb. And if it doesn't get there, just scooch it up. Not a big deal. I like to think of kind of creating a cat with my upper body as I draw the knee in towards my chest. And then bring the foot to the mat. So you can come up onto your fingertips here or up onto blocks if you have them. So drawing your belly away from your thigh, gaze forward. Take another exhale here. Guide that right hip back, left hip forward. And on an inhale, we're going to step the left foot behind the right as we come into a forward fold here. So stretching those outer hips, the IT bands. So slight bend in the knees, belly towards the thighs, chin in towards the chest. On your next inhale, step your left foot next to your right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, pull your belly button towards your spine, open up your collarbones as you hug your shoulder blades down towards the back of your hips. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, root down through your feet, rise Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, side body stretch, crescent moon, left fingertips walk down the left leg, stretch your right fingertips up and over towards the left. Guide your right thumb back, open up your chest. Inhale, Tadasana, hug the quadriceps, lift the kneecaps, and exhale, crescent moon, side body stretch. Right fingertips walk down the right leg, left fingertips reach up and over towards the right. Again, guide the left thumb back, and your gaze can be forward or up towards your fingertips if that feels good. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose, and exhale, Samastitihi. Pull your thumbs to your heart center. Guide your tailbone down, relax your shoulders. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose, and exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Hinge from your hips, slight bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, fingertips on the earth or on the shins. And exhale, step back, high plank, top of a push-up. So first high plank pose here today. Spread all 10 fingers nice and wide and really press into that space between your thumb and your forefinger. Guide your shoulders down and back into their sockets and lift your upper back. Squeeze your quadriceps, don't let your legs off the hook here. Make sure your legs are doing their part in your plank. Press through your heels towards the wall behind you, and then pull your belly button back, in and up. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga, or slowly lower all the way to your belly, and then inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Shoulders directly over your wrists. Draw your shoulder blades in towards one another and then hug them together to press your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot to the center of your mat. Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, step your left foot up to your left thumb. Stay up in this high lunge position. Gazing forward, option to bring blocks underneath the palms or come up onto your fingertips. Guide your left hip back, right hip forward. And inhale, step your right foot behind your left. Exhale, forward fold. Relax your shoulders. Hug your inner thighs in together. Inhale, step the right foot next to the left, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise Tadasana, mountain pose. Keep those legs fired up. Guide your tailbone down. Bring your left palm to your right forearm, side body stretch up and over to the left. Continue keeping your hip points facing forward. Think about using your right hand, fingertips reaching towards the left. Inhale, center, and exhale, switch it out. Side body stretch, right palm comes to the left forearm. Draw the left thumb back. And then gaze up. Inhale, Tadasana. And exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, step back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. And exhale, chaturanga. 90-degree bend in the elbows, pin them into your side body. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, step your right foot up to your right thumb. Ground your left hand and inhale, peel open, simple twist. Right fingertips stacked over right shoulder, which is stacked directly over the left shoulder, which is directly over the left hand. Lift the back of your hips, guide your left hip back, right hip forward. Right hip back, left hip forward. Gaze up towards your right fingertips. And then exhale, right hand to the outside of the right foot. Surrender your left knee down. Toes can be tucked or untucked. And then inhale, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. So drop your tailbone down, press your hips forward. On your exhale, fingertips come to the earth or to your blocks. Straighten into your right leg for Hanuman, half splits. Flex the right toes back towards the right knee. Think about lengthening your chest towards those right toes. You can stay here, or if you'd like a deeper stretch in the outer right leg, we're just going to bring both hands over to the right side of the mat. So you'll notice that just that simple shift of bringing the left hand over to the right side of the mat really begins to open up into that outer right leg. And then you can even play around with rolling, pivoting on your right heel to find a spot that feels really good, a good opening in both the hamstring and the outer right hip. Loop your shoulders down. And then on your next inhale, crawl yourself back into your low lunge. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, step back, high plank, top of a push-up, and then flow through your vinyasa or meet us in downward facing dog. Gaze forward as you come up into cobra or upward facing dog. Resist the urge to lift your gaze up towards the ceiling. Keep your neck safe by staring forwards. And then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Ground your right foot. Inhale, extend the left leg. And exhale, step the left foot up by the left hand. So again, find that cat in your upper body. Hug the left thigh, left knee in towards your chest. Then make sure that your left knee is stacked directly over your ankle. Bring your right palm to the mat underneath your right shoulder and peel open, simple twist. Continue hugging the inner thighs in towards one another, lifting the outer left hip up and back, and then guide the right hip forward. Maybe reach those left fingertips up towards the ceiling just a bit more. And on your next exhale, left hand frames the outside of the left foot. Surrender the right knee down, toes tucked or untucked. And inhale, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. With your inhale, lengthen the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Create space from your tailbone up to the crown of your head. And with your exhale, knit your front ribs in and down towards your hips. One more inhale. Exhale, palms to the earth. Straightening into that left leg, continuing to guide the left hip back. Right hip forward. My left leg's a little shaky this morning. Flex those toes back towards your knee. And then again, if you'd like to feel the stretch a little bit deeper in the outer left hip, you're going to bring your right hand over to the mat on the left side. And then again, you can kind of just pivot on your left heel. finding that spot where the stretch feels good to you, and then hang out there. Continue lengthening from the tip of your tailbone to the crown of your head. Core stays nice and active as you draw the belly button back and you lift your pelvic floor. Continue to breathe. And then inhale, walk yourself back into that low lunge. Step your left foot back, high plank, and then cycle through your vinyasa. Take an inhale breath in your downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, lift your right leg straight back out of the right hip. Flex the toes back towards the knee and slightly in towards the midline of the body, and imagine lifting through the inseam. Exhale, right knee taps the left tricep. Inhale, re-extend, right leg high, and exhale, step the right foot up next to the right thumb. Inhale, peel open, simple twist. Layer 1, we stay here. Layer 2, fallen warrior. Shift to the pinky edge of your right foot and your left foot as you drop your left hip down towards the mat. Gaze back towards the inner left heel. Inhale, back up to your simple twist. Exhale, right palm finds the mat. Spin your back foot flat and inhale, rise, warrior 2. Guide your right knee out towards your right, over your right middle toes, but think about it tracking out towards the right pinky edge of your foot. Drop your tailbone down, frontal hip points come up towards the low ribs. Inhale, straighten the right leg, tap the palms overhead, and exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten and tap. Exhale, warrior 2. One more, inhale, straighten and tap. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, star pose, heels in, toes out, and exhale, horse pose. Sit low in that plie squat. So keep your outer knees tracking towards your pinky toes. Relax your shoulders down into their sockets. Drop your hip. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior 2. Windmill your palms. Step back, high plank, and flow through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee to right tricep. Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, step your left foot up by your left thumb. Inhale, peel open, simple twist. Exhale, stay here. Or fallen warrior, shift to the pinky edge of each foot. Reach your left fingertips back as your right hip comes down towards the mat. Inhale, simple twist. Exhale, left hand finds the mat. Spin the back foot flat and inhale, rise, warrior 2. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Squeeze, hug your shoulder blades in towards one another. Gaze gently out over your left fingertips. Inhale, star pose. Heels in, toes out, draw your tailbone down, lift your chest up towards the sky. And exhale, horse pose. Bring your thumbs to the insides of your knees. Go ahead and drop your right shoulder towards your left inner thigh. Inhale, back through center. Stretch in the opposite direction. Drop your left shoulder towards your right inner thigh. Continue pressing the outer knees open. Inhale, center, star pose. And exhale, warrior two. Stay for the inhale, lengthen the side body. And exhale, windmill the palms, step back, high plank. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. And exhale, step your feet through. Come into a seat. And we'll meet in Navasana, boat pose. So keeping a nice long spine. This is another place that's awesome for a block here. If you have one or a pillow, you can bring it between your upper thighs and hug that block in. And notice how it really helps you firm through your belly. So I want you to picture your belly button with your mind's eye, and I want you to think about drawing your low abs up towards your belly button, and then drawing your front ribs and your upper abs down towards your belly button. I'm shaking here. My legs are shaking, my core is shaking. And then bring your palms out, shoulder height. Lift your chest towards your chin. Inhale. Exhale, low boat. Bring your low back to the mat. Hover your legs and your arms off of the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Lift back up. Boat pose. Inhale. And then exhale. Hover. And then inhale. Slowly lower. We're going to come into some eagle crunches. We're going to come into eagle pose a little bit later in our practice. So I want us to find that shape on our back. So you're going to bend your knees. You're going to cross your right knee over your left. And now your right foot can stay just alongside the left ankle. Or if you'd like to tuck those right toes behind the left calf, you can do that. And then go ahead and bring your right arm underneath your left, crossing at your elbows and your wrists. Take an inhale breath. Keep your low back pressing against the mat. And if you can, tap your fingertips overhead and your toes to the mat, but only if your low back stays flat on the mat. Exhale, breath. Crunch, elbows to knees. Inhale, lengthen and extend only to where your low back stays pressed to the back of the mat. And then exhale, hug it in together, knees and elbows. Inhale, slowly lengthen. Exhale, crunch, hug knees to elbows, elbows to knees. Let's do two more. Inhale, slowly lengthen like you're moving through mud. And exhale, hug it in, elbows to knees, knees to elbows. Inhale, lengthen, one more. And exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen, unbind. Come back into Supta Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet pressing together, pinky edge of each foot on the mat. And then go ahead and bring your arms down by your sides. We're going to come into a bridge variation here, frog bridge. So on your next inhale, press into the pinky edge of your feet. and peel your hips up towards the sky. Hug your outer glutes in towards one another. And then if it's accessible, you can interlace your hands behind your back and then pull your knuckles down towards your heels. Continue pressing into the pinky edge of your feet, lifting your hips just a little bit higher. And on your next exhale, slowly release, unbind the hands, roll down one vertebra at a time. Hug your knees in towards your chest and cross your left knee over your right. Option to hook those left toes behind your right calf. And then this time, left arm underneath right, cross at the wrists and elbows. Inhale, lengthen, but keep your low back flat on the mat. And then exhale, draw your belly button towards your spine as you lift, elbows towards knees, knees in towards elbows. With control, inhale, find length, and exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, crunch. Let's do two more. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen, so opening up our shoulders and our hips here as we work our abs, and exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, release, Supta Baddha Konasana, and this time just bring your left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. Take a few deep breaths here. Option, open mouth, exhale. And seal your lips closed. Come back to your Ujjayi breath. On your next inhale, if your eyes aren't already open, blink them open. Hug your knees in towards your chest, and then rock and roll the length of your spine about 3 times. And then we'll come up into tabletop or directly back into high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, Vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, right knee to left tricep. Step your right foot to the left side of your mat. Pivot to the inner left foot. And inhale, peel open, fallen triangle. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands, spin your back foot flat, and inhale, come up, warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle, legs stay the same, lengthen out of your side body as that right elbow comes to the inside of the right knee, pressing the right knee open. Lengthen along your side body from your hips to your shoulders and pull your belly button in. Inhale, reverse warrior. Side body stretch, walk the left fingertips down the left leg, reach the right fingertips up. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, horse pose, eagle arms. So your right arm is going to come up under your left, crossing at the elbows and the wrists, if that's possible. If not, bring opposite palm to opposite shoulder. Pull your elbows out in front at shoulder height and find a nice deep compression in your wrist joints and your elbow joints. So you should feel a nice opening in the back of your shoulders. Sit a little lower. Continue pressing your outer knees out And then inhale, lift your palms. Your gaze is going to follow your fingertips. And as you exhale, crunch, drawing your elbows in towards your belly button. Inhale. Bring it back up, elbows in line with shoulders. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Inhale, straighten that right leg, and exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. So with a slight bend in that right knee, you're gonna lengthen the side body forward and reach your right hand down towards your right shin, maybe up a little bit higher by your knee, or maybe to the earth or to a block if you have a block. So lengthening the left side of your torso here as the crown of your head reaches forward and your tailbone hugs under. Sitting bones lengthening towards that back left heel. Inhale, bend into the right knee, warrior two. And exhale, windmill the palms, Vinyasa. Option Ekapada here if you'd like to keep your right toes lifted as you shift forward into Chaturanga. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee to right tricep. Extend the left leg long. The pinky edge of the left leg finds the mat. The inner arch of the right foot finds the mat. And both hips lift up towards the ceiling in fallen triangle. Exhale with control, right hand to the mat. Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Spin the back foot flat and come up, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Spiral your left ribs towards the right side of your mat and peel your right ribs back. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale. And inhale, open it up. Star pose. Exhale, horse pose. Palms to heart center. And then this time, left arm underneath the right, cross at the elbows and the wrists. Draw your elbows in line with your shoulders and imagine that there's a string pulling your elbows forward towards the right side of the room. Sit a little bit lower. Inhale, lift your gaze, lift your fingertips, lift your elbows, and exhale, crunch. Draw elbows in towards your belly button, round the upper back. Inhale. Elbows in line with the shoulders. And exhale, warrior two. Stay for the inhale, straighten the left leg, tuck the hips, and exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Can you reach those right fingertips up a little bit higher? Creating that nice flat backside body. Steady your breath. Hug your left quadricep up towards your hip. Lift your kneecap. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, windmill your palms and flow through your Vinyasa. Upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step your feet behind your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. And inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Ground your right foot and come into a figure four with your left leg. So crossing your left ankle at the front of your right knee, creating that figure four space that we created at the beginning of class. Sit your hips lower. Maybe bring your palms to heart center. Continue guiding that outer left knee open. Maybe you can come a little bit lower. Maybe you can bring your forearms to your shins, finding that drishti, that focus point, lengthening the sides of your body, maybe lifting the corners of your mouth into a smile. And then wherever you are, stack your shoulders over your hips, cross your left knee over your right for eagle pose, either kickstanding the left toes or tucking the left toes behind the right leg. Extend your arms out like a T, and then bring your left arm underneath your right, crossing at your wrists and your elbows. Sit a little bit lower. Whoa, I'm wobbling from side to side. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. And it depends from day to day where we are in our balancing postures. Find your focus point. Guide your knees and your hips over towards the left. And imagine that your backside body is up against a wall. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And then inhale, release Tadasana. You can shake that right leg out if that feels good. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. So this time, we're going to ground the left leg. We're going to come into a figure four, crossing the right ankle at the front of the left knee. So sitting the hips back, make sure you can see your toes in front of that left knee. You can bring your palms to heart center. Continue lengthening your chest towards your thumbs, your chest towards your chin. Stay here, feeling that nice deep stretch in the outer right hip. Or if you can, keep your spine nice and straight and long. Maybe bring your triceps to your right shin. Drop your hips. Or maybe your fingertips can even find the earth. Just keep that focus point. I am super shaky today. My left leg is working. And then come up, stack your shoulders over your hips. Slide the right knee on top of the left. Kickstand the right toes or tuck the right toes under. Extend the arms out like a T. And then this time, right elbow underneath the left. And then find that compression at your elbow and your wrist joints. So sit back in that left hip, in the left heel rather. Guide your hips and your knees over towards the right. Find a nice flat back, like you're sitting up against a wall. Whoa. And remember, if you fall out, it's just yoga. It's okay. Come right back in. And then inhale, let it go. Ooh, Tadasana, mountain pose. Shake out that left leg. Bring your arms up overhead. And exhale, Hinge at the hips. Lengthen from your tailbone to the crown of your head as you come forward into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. And exhale, Chaturanga, final Vinyasa if you choose to take it. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Wag your tail, pedal out your feet, and just notice how different you feel, both physically and maybe even mentally or emotionally from how you felt when you first stepped onto your mat today. Ease forward and either walk or hop through to a seat. You're gonna come into a little twist here. So left leg long, cross your right foot to the outside of your left knee. Bring your right palm to the mat at the base of your spine, and then inhale, extend your left arm long as you twist, and bring your left elbow to the outside of the right knee, lengthening from your tailbone to the crown of the head. Another option here that sometimes feels really good is just to hug the right knee with your right elbow. Sit up nice and straight and tall. And then come back to center. And then cross your right ankle at your left knee. Walk your left knee in towards your chest. And then we're just going to come into this seated figure four stretch here. So your palms can be facing forward towards your hips, or if it feels better, your palms can, or your fingertips can be facing out towards the edges of your mat. So this is a nice opening here, just a pigeon variation. Hip stretch, piriformis stretch. And then go ahead, come up onto your fingertips or your palms. Keep that left knee bent so your left shin is flat on the mat. And then come up, lift your buns, and just cross your right knee directly on top of your left. I'll face you guys so you can see me a little bit. So Gomukhasana, cow face. I'm not really sure why it's called cow face, but if this is horrible for you, just don't stack knee on top of knee. And then sitting up nice and straight and tall, this is layer one. Layer two, for a tricep stretch, we're gonna bend our left arm and we're gonna face that left tricep forward. Now notice I'm not letting my left arm press my head forward and round through my back. I wanna keep my back nice and straight. And then I'm either gonna bring my right hand behind or to the top of my left tricep, or I'm gonna bring that right hand behind my back, and I'll turn back this way. And I'm gonna hook, interlace my fingers. And it's more like a little hook or clasp. So this is layer two. Keep your gaze facing forward. So you're feeling a deep opening in your arms, a deep opening in your hips. And then layer three, keep the backs of your hips on the mat and hinge forward. Keep drawing that left tricep back, and maybe you can hook your chin to your right knee. Or not, just keep your chest reaching towards that right thigh. And then inhale, come back up, unbind, and we'll come into a seated Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose here. So bring your hands to the outsides of your feet. Sit up nice and straight and tall. Drop your shoulders down into their sockets. Lengthen from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Hinge forward. And then keep the low back as straight as you can here. Maybe your elbows come to the insides of your knees. I'm sorry, the dog is right over there next to the camera, and she's making all kinds of noise. I know you can't see her. And then inhale, slowly come up. Extend the right leg long. Here, I'll move this block out of the way. And then cross your left foot to the outside of the right knee. Bring your left hand to the mat. So open up that left shoulder. You begin to twist from your belly button over towards the left side of the room. Right arm extends, and then exhale, bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee to deepen the twist. And think about growing length from the tip of your tailbone to the crown of your head, like you're creating space between the vertebrae. So as we go through our day, we walk around, we sit, we carry things, we get some compression in our spine. This is just a nice way to find some more length in the spine. And again, if you want to hug, hi Fiona, your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, that is an option as well. Come back to center very gently. Bend your right knee. Figure 4, seated figure 4. So guide the outer left knee open. And again, if you can walk your hands in a little bit closer, it'll just be a little deeper stretch in the outside of that left hip. Hey, can you move? Come over here. Back here. Come here. Come here. Go lay down. Good girl. And then bend the right knee. Bring the right shin, thigh to the mat. And then kind of press up onto your fingertips, lift your bum. And then as best you can, stack your left knee on top of your right. Gomukhasana, cow face. And again, knees don't have to be stacked on top of each other. You can find a cross-legged seat. And then this time we'll take the tricep shoulder stretch on the right. So go ahead and extend the right arm up, tricep facing forward. Walk the fingertips down the back. Keep your chin lifted. Again, don't let your arm press your head and your chest forward. So layer 1 or layer 2, we're going to reach that left arm behind our back. Walk the left fingertips up to find the right, and then find that hook. Here, I'll turn this way so you guys can see me, of your fingertips. So keep your gaze lifted, and then find length from your tailbone to your crown of your head, just like we did in our twist. And then if you can keep the backs of your hips flat on the mat, so think about hips pressing back, chest lengthening forward. We're going to come into a forward fold here. So my belly button is pulled back and in. And then if you can, maybe you hook your chin to your left knee. And if you can't, it doesn't change anything. You're still getting a nice deep stretch in your hips with your belly drawing towards upper thighs. And then inhale, come up, unbind, uncross your legs, extend your legs long or knees bent, arms out, shoulder height. Use your core here. Create that C shape as you slowly, with control, roll down onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest. If there's any last posture you'd like to take here, maybe dead bugs pose, happy baby, any more twisting, although we've done quite a bit of twisting today, you can take a gentle twist. Otherwise, join me as you curl up into a tight, tiny little ball, thanking yourself for showing up on your mat today, moving through your meditation, connecting breath to movement. And then with an open mouth, exhale, find Shavasana. Stretch your legs long, let your toes splay out towards the side. Tuck your shoulder blades under, hug them in towards one another. Let your hands come out at a 45-degree angle from your body. Take up space and allow yourself to be heavy on your mat. come back to a natural rhythm of breath. And if you have the gift of time, press pause and stay in your Shavasana for as long as you can. If you're ready to move on with me, just begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Extend your arms long overhead as you stretch your toes forward for that good morning stretch for the front body. And then draw your heels in towards your hips as you bend your knees and roll to your right side body in a supported fetal position. So top palm resting on the earth, head resting on your bottom bicep, and just take in a nice deep breath of this feeling of calm that you've created on your mat today with your breath. And know that when you step off your mat, you can use that same tool, you can use your breath to find some calm, and if not calm, at least some space between your emotion and your reactions. Go ahead and press into your left palm, coming up to a cross-legged seat on your mat. Bring your thumbs to your heart center. Once again, thanking yourself for showing up on your mat today. Go ahead and bring your thumbs to your third eye center. And I'd like to thank you for practicing with me today. I know you have a lot of options, and I appreciate that you choose to spend your time flowing with me. Until next time, namaste. I will see you guys later this week with another new Vinyasa flow video. If there's something that you would like to practice, something specific, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. And then if you'd automatically like to get updated when I release new classes, just go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell icon, and then you'll get notifications when I release new videos. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you.